Shalom, Kahala, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kachadash, and don't want to the apostles and elders of the great millstone, and peace have taste of the Akim doing his work, in true sincerity in the four corners of the earth. All right, doing this current event lesson. All right, it's going into god damn, what's going on with so like in Babylon and Asher. All right, which is America and Venezuela. All right, for those that ain't in the know. All right. And you got Babylon, all right, provoking uh, Venezuela to war, man. All right, and they keep trying to speak it, all right, into existence. Okay, and they're even talking about sending in a ground force. All right, and I seen one of Maduro's comments. You know, he said, you know, we are not going to be colonized, all right, by America. All right, which hey, that is exactly right. You know, the only way that America, Babylon, uh, well, there ain't no way. You know, it ain't no way that Babylon can justify, you know, doing a damn ground invasion, you know, on Venezuela, man. You know, because the dude ain't doing, you know, terroristic shit. You know, he ain't lynching the people in the middle of the street. All right, so where the hell is all this oppression and all this shit that the hell they keep blurring out that goddamn propaganda? Everybody can say this dude is that, he do this, he do that, but then when you ask them to present the facts, it ain't no goddamn facts, you know. And it's Iraq and Afghanistan all over again. All right, because the Most High set up this devil, okay, to be that hammer of the earth, man. Okay, so he's the goddamn world police. All right. But the Most High has lifted the skirt up so much on this devil. Every time he try to move to do war now, you know, it's a big outcry. You know, because you got social media, you got all these smartphones. Okay, so it's certain shit that they used to be able to get away with in the times of war, you know, that you can't get away with no more. All right, how Esau likes to get away with it, you know, but it's gonna come a time to where, you know, with the use of AI and America's propaganda machine, they're not gonna give a damn about that shit no more. You know, it's not even gonna matter to them anymore. They ain't gonna be able to determine what the hell is real and what the hell is fake. You know, and then the Most High just gonna put the spirit on Esau to get busy anyway. You know, the scripture go into Esau um, coming down with great wrath. All right, and he ain't gonna care about no diplomacy. You know, he ain't gonna care about doing shit the diplomatic way. All right, he just gonna get shit done. Okay, Esau's gonna Slovakia. You know, those horns are gonna fully protrude out of his damn head, man. You know, but the article say are United States military airstrikes on Venezuela imminent. It say over the weekend, President Donald Trump issued a warning to avoid airspace. Not today, Satan. Over the over the weekend, President Donald Trump issued a warning to avoid airspace over the South American country. Trump has already signaled forthcoming land attacks in Venezuela, located along the continent's northern border. But speaking on Air Force One on Sunday night, November 30th, Trump told reporters not to read too much into the closing of the space. Okay? They say the move comes after Trump told U.S. troops on Thanksgiving, Salakia, Um, the move comes after Trump told U.S. troops on Thanksgiving the military operation will soon include strikes on land. All right, whether that be drone strikes or strikes from ship or by air. It say Venezuela has condemned Trump's comments as a colonialist threat and incompatible with international law. And that's the main. That I mean, that's the only thing you can do. Being because Venezuela is Asher. You know that's Northern Kingdom. And the only plea that you can do to these devils, around the world is to say, oh, this is a redoing of colonialism. You know, really begging them Edomites over there in Europe, to step in. That's a part of the beast. Asking the beast to step in, and say something to this whore. All right, hey, get this whore under control, man. This whore is about to you know, destroy us, devour us. You know, all right. But the beast is partially aligned in this, all right, because Venezuela requested the gold that they have. That's their gold. They entitled to that gold for their country. And the London Bank denied it. So Esau as a whole is complicit in the suffering and oppression, all right, of the Venezuelan people, man. Okay, they're a bunch of fucking hypocrites, man. They'll tell you this ruler ain't doing this, he ain't doing that, but they ain't gonna tell you that they spreading propaganda. They're not gonna tell you that they got puppets over there. They're not gonna tell you that they got tariffs on them. And what's the other word? Tariffs and there's another word too. So they blocking their economy, man. You know, but then to tell you, all right, oh nah, he's oppressing the people. He's a tyrant. When you starving the goddamn people, man. They say at the same time the U.S. Senate Armed Services Committee is investigating alleged kill orders by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth during a military strike on a Venezuelan vessel near the island of Trinidad. The Trump administration claims it was smuggling illegal drugs. Hegseth has called the report fabricated, inflammatory, and derogatory. Which that's illegal. According to international law. But this is the devil. This is Satan. You know, so the devil not gonna go according to the rules that he established. He breaks and bends his own goddamn rules. He only judges you Israelites to the full extent of his law. All right, but he don't gotta obey his law, man. Ain't that a bitch? It's a USA Today previously reported Trump, who has defended Hegseth from the accusation that he ordered the military to kill them all before the lethal strike, said he will look into whether the U.S. carried out the second strike against a boat in the Caribbean. And imagine your ass on a fishing boat, or any kind of boat that Esau just all of a sudden, deems you a fucking goddamn drug trafficker, man. Blow your ass out the goddamn sky. you know? At the same time, Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona said on November 30th appearance on Meet the Press that the Senate Armed Services will hold a public hearing on potentially illegal military orders issued by Hegseth, and that's the meeting they had today. It was like a 2 hour live. It was like a 2 hour live stream, but I haven't got to check it out. I'm gonna have to just check out the clips. And Donald Trump. I listened to a little bit of it, and Trump was already beginning with the goddamn pride and shit. You know, it said, but why is Trump talking about attacking Venezuela? Here's what to know. And during that meeting, Trump the whole time was talking about, I stopped 6 wars, I stopped 8 wars, I stopped the Pakistan India war. I should have got a peace prize for that. You know, which the scriptures speak about. These leaders saying peace, promising peace and safety, man. And this nigga's I'm talking about this nigga to lie to your damn face and tell you that he gonna give you peace and safety while you got simultaneous wars going on right now. You know, wars that have devastating consequences. A war between nations that have nuclear capabilities. Because that's what you had when you have Ukraine and Russia, which Ukraine is not a part of NATO. All right, okay, but they are allied to America. They allied to those European nations. And they border. All right, uh, those EU nations. So that's why they need that buffer between them and Russia. You know, and then you got what Israel and Iran. Those are two nuclear powered nations. You know, so I say, why is Trump talking about attacking Venezuela? Trump said he wants to tackle the country's illegal drug trade that have killed Americans. Oh, ain't that noble? The president said his administration's recent strikes on alleged drug boats that killed dozens were aimed at deterring suspected Venezuelan traffickers. Okay, which you want to talk about human traffickers and all this shit, and drug boats. Why you didn't put to slaughter those pharmaceutical companies that knew that opioids were highly addictive? Okay, why didn't you put them on trial? All right, why none of them even went to had long football number prison sentences? All right, but if Jake got a damn crack rock in his pocket, all right, you giving him decades of years of imprisonment. But here it is, the goddamn pharmakia, all right, they're allowed to operate with pure immunity. Okay, got everybody popping these goddamn hydrocodone and all these damn opioids and shit, you know, and there wasn't no consequences besides financially, which that was already, the elder brothers had already went into it on the block that all this set aside money was already created with profit already as the goal. So you got to set aside money for the lawsuits. That's already on the books, you know, for the side effects. This say since September, the administration is known to have carried out strikes on nearly 2 dozen boats. God damn, that's crazy, man. In international waters, including in the Caribbean, that killed 83 people. So they just smoked 83 people with no evidence. Why we ain't seen no pictures of the kilos, man? If these are supposedly drug boats. It said a reported second strike on a suspected drug boat took place on September 2nd. All right. I'm looking for the reason. They ain't said the reason yet. Well, goddamn. They said the reason, then just went into the drug boats. But Fox News made it clear, what the reason is. All right. And the scripture go into, this man that taketh away a nation's land and their heritage, man. That's what this fucking devil does. You know, he's the border of wickedness. Okay, so of course, if you got a resource, and you don't got a politician that's willing to play ball and pretty much kowtow, to America and their corporation, okay, you're gonna have to be demonized. You're gonna have to be taken out of the way, okay? Because a lot of what America does is they put these puppet leaders in there, and then they make sure the puppet leader gets paid, all right, but takes all the profits and gains, all right, from the people that the people will benefit from, and just fill they fat fucking pockets, man. Which a proud ass, boastful ass woman got on, which I think she was Northern Kingdom. She got on Fox News talking about yeah, that's the reason why we're going to war because Maduro's in the way, and If we allow American corporations to go into Venezuela, we'll have 100 years worth of business, with oil and gas. So that's what the hell it's about. All right, Esau. All right, going in there and taking them damn resources, man. Okay. All right, because if Esau can get down there and get that oil, he ain't gotta fuck with the oil and gas of the eastern part of the world, and they can fuck with the Saudis less, you know, if they can have them oil deposits all to their goddamn self, you know. Same old game all over again, man. Afghanistan, all right, Iraq, was all about the goddamn oil, man. All right. And then what was a byproduct of that was being able to corrupt those people, put that democracy bullshit out there, and also the heroin trade, getting all the sending all them damn the poppy plants and shit over here in the people in the dead caskets, man. you know, Same thing that was done in Vietnam, man. All right, but that's all I had. I pray this lesson is edifying and shalom.